Hello, it's Jacqueline from the blog thedoggyperspective.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a rant on a new type of dog, a new breed of dog. I guess we should have seen it coming. These dogs have practical uses, but yet and still, it's so far removed from tradition that I want to talk about it. So stay tuned. That's what's next. All right, so my rant today here, I had to write it down because, you know, there's a lot of information out there, but I want to make sure that I get it right for you. But we're talking about robotic dogs today. Robotic dogs are taking over the universe, and they actually have practical applications. Now, what surprised me most was how these robotic dogs are being used, right? First, I heard about robotic dogs coming into play at the U.S.-Mexico Border Patrol, right? These are not able to actually make arrests, but they are deploying these robotic dogs out there in the field. Now, those dogs, though they can't make arrests, they are used for relaying information in real time and for capturing images, and they have a battery life of exactly 4 hours. So they don't last very long when they're out there in the field, but they do have some practical uses, right? Because we can always use more reconnaissance and more surveillance down at the border. One special feature about these robotic animals is that they can climb through rough terrain, so I suppose that's good, right? They have their uses, so we will see them used at the border and then throughout police enforcement, not just here in the United States of America, but throughout the world. So that's one way that these robotic dogs are actually being used. Now, I personally find that too far-fetched, right? I like Sophia's impulsiveness. I like her thought process, the unpredictability, how she interrupts me during the day. I like that. You know, she needs things at times, and so she needs me at times. A robotic animal, not so much. I mean, there's a lot of no that doesn't go on with robotic dogs, right? The care quotient is way down there. Right? There's a whole lot of stuff that you don't have to do once you actually have a robotic dog. So keeping that in mind, we'll move forward, because I also read that robotic dogs are good for seniors. Can you imagine that? Now, we know that having a dog, owning a dog, sleeping with a dog is good for the quality of your life. It just makes you happier, right? It just gives you the warm fuzzies and makes you happier and makes you healthier, right? But if you're a senior, a lot of times there's things that seniors can't do, and there's a lot of conditions associated with being a senior. And so when I read about the fact that you could actually invest in a robotic canine sidekick for your senior if they were facing dementia or facing isolation, I just thought, well, what good does that do? I mean, I feel like it's going a little too far. It's like saying, okay, I want them to have a pet because it will make them happier, but then again, I don't want them to have to go through the care process. They do have something that's called a nice robot. A nice robot looks real, and you know, so they're soft and they're furry. And they did say that when these were tested in senior homes where the patients were elderly and they did have dementia, right, that they found that 75% of the people who had an opportunity to interact with these robots on the days when they were available absolutely said yes. They seemed happier. They were witnessed in their rooms, you know, petting the animals and table. Not even a month ago did this line of food receive a really high rating, 5.0 stars. So winner, Luvsome turkey stew and noodles dinner. This is very thick and has just enough gravy inside to satisfy your dog. This is aromatic. Your dog will really get the chunks of cut turkey here. This is perfect for after your walk or just before your bedtime meal. If you've got a teeny weeny dog, this is a full meal at 3.5 ounces. It is perfectly balanced nutrition for your adult dog, and you know how I like these little cups. If you must travel, there you go. Now, this has a packaging promise. It promises that it is non-BPA. So why is that important, Jacqueline? BPA is bisphenol A. That is an industrial chemical that has been used to make particular plastics for more than 65 years now. So anyway, the Environmental Protection Agency says that BPA can imitate the body's hormones and interfere with the production of, or the response to, or action of natural hormones. What we humans are supposed to do is avoid this toxic BPA stuff in the consumption of our foods. This isn't always easy because BPA is found in cans or it's found in plastic. So this being BPA free packaging is pretty much the gray area because BPA is everywhere. However, if you've had a hard time avoiding BPA, this food has your name on it. At 59 cents per container, these are a steal. Get yours from our friends at Instacart, and don't forget to use my code when you sign up. That's Alford 3F5107 to sign up for Instacart and receive $10 when you place your first order. Talking to them, talking out loud to them, and so on. Now, Honest Engine, I kind of feel like it's a bit of a dupe. I mean, you know, if you got dementia, now you're giving me a fake animal. Like, what would it matter anyway? I'm not on the fence about this one. I don't like it. But there are some pluses to this, they say, because if you're a senior facing dementia and facing isolation, and also for seniors that have autism or a spectrum disorder. Oops, hold on, y'all. Okay, so if you have autism or a spectrum disorder, these robotic animals are actually good for you, because what happens is oftentimes folks with those types of conditions forget to feed the animal, provide water, they forget about cleaning the litter box, they don't have any mobility, so walking the dog is not exactly possible, and then plus there's no mental fallout if the pet is dying. Okay, so that's a positive, that's a plus, but I feel like you know, it's kind of like giving a kid a toy and sending them to their room, so to speak. So there you have it. Robot dogs are good for seniors. Again, this is way non-traditional, but actually pretty cool. On a trip to Honda in Marysville, Ohio, you know, they are really technologically advanced, you know, technology forward, and they have, of course, the robotic dogs. I mean, what can you say? It's interesting at first to see. It's interesting at first to see, and it was really impressive. And then I find that there's a lot of different models, you know, not just small and cute robotic dogs like the one made by Biddle. It is a palm-sized robotic dog, and so it's pretty cute. It's neat. You can let it walk and run across your desktop and things like that, and I feel like that's something that you could have fun with conceptually. But in the real world, these are often used, the ones that the police would be using, they're huge, right? And these are not just being used by police, these are also being used by private citizens. There is a model which is called Spot, It retails for $74,500, and there's just over 400 of these units in use. Now it has an Android arm. It's not very pretty, right? But it has an Android arm where the head would actually be on this model. And which, another thing, most of them are headless, so they're even creepier looking. I'm sure that some of you will find these fascinating, but for me, no, I don't care for them. But they have an Android arm where the actual head would be, and to command them you can just use a controller, or you could simply use your voice to give them commands and control them that way. One of the more popular robotic dogs is the Sony Eyeball. It was on exhibition recently, and of course it's super popular. It looks good. It's got round features and friendly face, you know, and it looks like it will be a lot of fun to play with for a short period of time. And then there is my favorite of all the ones that I would consider if push came to shove and the government said, hey Jacqueline, you have to have a robotic dog now. No regular dogs for you. If you have to have a robotic dog, which one do you want? Right? So I would select for myself Chit, the robot dog, because Chit the robot dog has a smart pad, pardon me, not a smart pad, but a smart bed that he finds. When his eyes turn purple and start to glow, then you know the battery is running down, right? So no feeding Chip the robot dog. You just send Chip the robot dog to his little bed and he will charge up himself, right? Or if you are traveling and you would like to take him with you, there is a charging cable that you can use when you're on the go. Now this is also equipped with a smartphone app and a smartwatch app, so you can watch out for that. But I would pick this one because it is again, it's rounder, it's less angular, and it has friendlier features. So I figured, you know, if I'm gonna have an electronic toy running around my home instead of the real McCoy, then that would be it. So tell us what you think, because, you know, in this case, how do you review, you know, how to care for it? No feeding, no food, electricity, that's it. Well, there goes the warm fuzzies right out of the window, but I do suppose that it is a real conversation starter, and it's something that you can share with your friends. You might also be willing to give this as a gift to someone just for fun. If they're a techie, they might actually enjoy owning something like that. So you can find these online at various places. I know the Biddle robotic dog is available online at Amazon. I felt that the cost is not super exorbitant, but you be the judge yourself. Now, just so you know, it's far removed from $74,500, which is the cost for Spot, right? But if you go with the Biddle robotic dog, you'll save a pretty penny, okay? And it's made by Pet Toy. All right, well, that is it for the robotic dog review. I'm Jacqueline from the blog, thedoggyperspective.com. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video.